Marvel's created thousands of characters, but not all of them were wins. Some sparked controversy, some flopped instantly, and a few were so badly received, Marvel erased them like they never existed. From forgotten disasters to public backlashes, these weren't just creative misfires, they were moments Marvel actually regretted, and even Marvel apologized. Whether it was rewriting history, pulling entire storylines, or canceling a character before they even debuted, these are the 10 characters Marvel wishes they never put on the page. At number 10 is teen Tony Stark. In one of the strangest moves of the 1990s, Marvel turned Tony Stark, yes, the Iron Man, into a secret villain. During the Avengers: The Crossing crossover, it was revealed that Tony had been a sleeper agent of Kang the Conqueror all along. He even murdered fellow Avengers. Marvel's fix? Pull a teenage version of Tony from the past to fight and eventually replace him. Teen Tony donned a 90s-style Iron Man suit, defeated his older self, and became the new Iron Man. Fans hated it. The story felt like a betrayal. The beloved, battle-hardened Tony was dead, and in his place stood a random teenager with no history. The backlash was instant. Within a year, Marvel scrapped it all in Heroes Reborn and brought the adult Tony back. Teen Tony was erased and quietly forgotten. Marvel never talks about it now, and probably hopes you don't either. At number 9 is Nightcat, aka Jacqueline Tavares. In 1991, Marvel tried to manufacture a pop star and a superhero in one shot. Jacqueline Tavares, aka Nightcat, was a leather-clad singer by day and crime fighter by night. Injected with a drug that enhanced her senses and agility, she was marketed as Marvel's next big multimedia heroine. They didn't just release a comic, they partnered with a record label and dropped a real Nightcat music album alongside it, and it flopped. Hard. Comic fans saw right through the gimmick. Music fans ignored it. Nightcat was never seen again. Even Marvel assistant editor Tom Brevoort later called the comic dumb, comparing its story to the infamous Catwoman film. Worst of all, Stan Lee co-wrote it, which made the crash even more public. Today, Nightcat lives on as a relic of misguided hype, a bold experiment that backfired completely, and a character Marvel quietly buried after just one issue. Next is Howard the Duck. Howard the Duck began as a bizarre satirical creation in 1973, a cigar-smoking, grumpy duck from another dimension stuck on Earth. He had no powers, just sarcasm, quack fu, and a knack for getting tangled in absurd, often surreal adventures. But what started as comedy soon spiraled into legal and creative chaos. Disney didn't find it funny. Howard's early design looked too much like Donald Duck. No pants, no shirt. Marvel panicked when Disney threatened a lawsuit and quickly signed a deal forcing Howard to wear pants. Steve Gerber, Howard's creator, called it unbelievably stupid. The fallout destroyed his relationship with Marvel, leading to lawsuits, public fights, and a parody revenge comic, Destroyer Duck. By the early 80s, Gerber was out, and Marvel was left holding a character tied to courtroom drama, editorial regret, and a 1986 live-action movie that bombed so hard, it's still mocked today. The next 3 characters? One rewrote a hero's origin, one ruined a milestone, and one got erased from canon entirely. At number 7 is Dr. Fu Manchu, Shang-Chi's father. In the 1970s, Marvel licensed pulp villain Fu Manchu to serve as Shang-Chi's father and primary enemy. He was an immortal alchemist, criminal mastermind, and head of a deadly secret society. But Marvel didn't just borrow a villain, they inherited a cultural landmine. Fu Manchu was the embodiment of the yellow peril stereotype, the exaggerated, mustache-twirling, cunning East Asian villain from early 20th century racism-laced fiction. Even in his original novels, he sparked backlash. By inserting him into Marvel continuity, they legitimized a caricature, one that aged terribly. To make matters worse, Marvel eventually lost the rights to the character, meaning they couldn't legally use Shang-Chi's father. The result? A confusing retcon where Fu Manchu was renamed Zhengzhou, and the character's entire backstory had to be rewritten. The 2021 Shang-Chi film erased him. Marvel doesn't just regret Fu Manchu, they've done everything possible to erase him. Next is Alpha, aka Andy Maguire. To celebrate Spider-Man's 50th anniversary, Marvel introduced a new teen hero, Andy Maguire, aka Alpha. A high school student who gained massive energy powers from a lab accident, Alpha was positioned as Peter Parker's reluctant sidekick, a mirror to Spidey's own origin. But unlike Peter, Andy was reckless, arrogant, and totally unlikable. Fans hated him. Alpha was supposed to be Marvel's next breakout star. Instead, he became a punchline. Readers compared him to Jar Jar Binks, the most unpopular new character since, as one critic put it. Alpha lacked the heart, charm, or humility that made Peter relatable. Even Peter ended up depowering him in the story to stop the chaos. Marvel tried salvaging him with a mini-series, but no one cared. He was written out fast. Today, Alpha is rarely mentioned. The fact he debuted in a milestone issue only makes Marvel's misfire feel worse. At number 5 is Gabriel Stacy. Gabriel Stacy was introduced in the Sins Past storyline, along with his twin sister Sarah as the secret children of Gwen Stacy and Norman Osborn. Thanks to Osborn's goblin formula, the twins aged rapidly and developed enhanced strength. Gabriel, twisted by rage and manipulation, became the Grey Goblin and hunted Spider-Man. Fans were horrified. The idea that Gwen, one of the most beloved characters in Spider-Man's history, had an affair with Norman Osborn was seen as grotesque, out of character, and disrespectful. It felt like a soap opera twist that no one asked for. Even the writer, J. Michael Straczynski, later distanced himself from it, revealing Marvel overruled his original pitch. For years, Sins Past lingered like a stain on Spidey lore until Marvel finally retconned it in 2021. The twins were declared fake, the affair erased. It was a full undo and proof Marvel regretted ever creating Gabriel Stacy. At number 4 is Hydra Captain America. In 2016, Marvel shocked readers by revealing that Captain America had secretly been a Hydra agent all along. In Steve Rogers' number 1, a newly de-aged Steve throws an ally from a plane and mutters the words, "Hail Hydra." It wasn't a trick. His memories had been rewritten by a sentient cosmic cube named Kobik to believe he'd always served Hydra. The backlash was instant and brutal. Headlines exploded. Social media lit up with fury. Captain America is a Nazi trended globally. Because in Marvel canon, Hydra has long been associated with Nazi ideology. Fans were livid that a hero created by Jewish creators to fight fascism had been twisted into its face. Marvel insisted it was part of a longer arc, Secret Empire, and begged readers to wait and see. But the damage was done. The story, Secret Empire, later revealed it wasn't the real Steve, but the outrage stuck, and boycotts followed. From here, wait till you see Marvel's next 3 disasters. One was a corporate cash grab, one never made it past issue number 0, and one twisted a fan-favorite villain beyond recognition. At number 3 is NFL Super Pro. NFL Super Pro was Marvel's attempt to combine superheroes and American football. Phil Grayfield, a former NFL player turned sports reporter, gains super strength and invulnerability from a freak chemical accident. He then dons a high-tech football uniform and becomes a full-blown superhero who fights crime in shoulder pads. The comic was a tie-in with the National Football League, aimed squarely at sports fans. It backfired hard. Critics slammed the book for cheesy dialogue, one-dimensional characters, and constant football puns. Even writer Fabian Nicieza later admitted he took the gig for free NFL tickets, not because he believed in the story. The series was canceled after just 12 issues. And in issue number 6, drew backlash for depicting Native Americans as villains, leading Marvel to pull comics back from shelves. Today, NFL Super Pro isn't just a failed tie-in. He's a punchline. Marvel didn't just cancel it, they pretended it never existed. At number 2 is Safe Space. Safe Space was intended to debut in Marvel's 2020 relaunch of New Warriors. A Gen Z superhero designed for modern sensibilities, he was described as a big, burly jock who could create pink force field bubbles, but only to protect others, not himself. Alongside his twin sister Snowflake, the two were positioned as social media savvy heroes who live-streamed their missions and were hyper-aware of culture and optics. The concept faced backlash almost immediately. Fans criticized the names and presentation as awkward and out of touch. Rather than resonating with a younger audience, the characters were widely mocked online and across social media platforms. Despite promotional interviews and early previews, response to the announcement was overwhelmingly negative. Marvel responded by canceling the series before issue number 1 was published. Safe Space never appeared in any official comic, and the project was shelved entirely. It remains one of Marvel's most publicly withdrawn character launches to date. At number 1 is Zorn, Magneto imposter. Zorn was introduced as a mysterious Chinese mutant with a star for a brain. Literally. Wearing a metal mask to contain his energy, he could heal others and manipulate gravity. He joined the X-Men, even helping Professor X recover. Then came the twist. Zorn wasn't Zorn at all. He was Magneto in disguise. In New X-Men, Magneto reveals he'd infiltrated the team under this false identity, then unleashes chaos, destroying Manhattan, getting hooked on the drug kick, and ultimately killing Jean Grey. Wolverine kills him in return. Marvel panicked. They decided it had gone too far. Within months, the entire twist was retconned. Zorn was never Magneto, they claimed. Instead, Zorn became a separate character, then two brothers, in a mess of confusing continuity. The move backfired. Fans were baffled. What started as a bold twist turned into a scrambled walkback. Marvel clearly regretted pulling the trigger. If this shocked you, imagine your friends' reactions. Hit share, and don't forget to subscribe for more like this.